Hello everybody, good morning. These are troubling times for us all. Days of darkness, I would even dare to say. None of us has been able to stand aside from this and not feel affected by the events of KZN and up in Gauteng. There were times when the psalmist, when he was trying to make sense of things, would go into the temple of God. And once or twice he speaks about the issues that he was grappling with that were troubling him. And then he says, until I went into the house of the Lord. Look at Psalm 73. And when he came into the house of the Lord, suddenly things became a little clearer. And he saw things from a different perspective. Now, we recorded devotions for today in Pietersbos, but I felt that such was the magnitude of the events going on in South Africa at this time, that I needed to come into the house of the Lord, just to think about things, and hopefully see things from a slightly different angle, from the natural anger that we are all experiencing at the moment. Unspeakable is one word that keeps coming back to me. We look at the events on our screens. It is unspeakable. We wouldn't have believed it unless we had seen it with our own eyes. One feels, as I said, angry. One experiences every emotion as one looks at the carnage and the destruction and the random destruction that is going on across in KZN. It's almost as if someone has, in the words of that of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. And it's almost as if evil has been unleashed, evil which is often restrained, and we are glad that it is restrained, but it's almost as if somebody has unleashed the chains, and darkness and evil has descended upon the land. To be honest, I've been caught up in it as much as you have. And I have found a measure of comfort, if that is the right word, but certainly challenge, in the words of Psalm 139. Now, that's the great psalm wherein the psalmist speaks about, Lord, you have searched me, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise, and you perceive my thoughts from afar. You are familiar with that psalm. But right at the end, David, who wrote this psalm, has a change of heart almost. It's a psalm where he is meditating on wonderful things. And it's almost as if his attention has been drawn to another more sinister reality that threatens at times just to overwhelm the sweet, pleasant thoughts that he has of God. And in verse 17, or rather verse 19, he cries out, "Oh, that you would slay the wicked, O God. Away from me, you bloodthirsty men. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, O Lord, and abhor those who rise up against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies." So something has really taken hold of David there, and he is unspeakably angry for what he believes is God's honor, the honor of God's name. And then he pauses, as if to say, well, hang on, maybe in saying what I have said, I have overstepped the mark. And I appreciate that about David. There's a down-to-earthness in the way that he talks and interacts with God. He's been angry. He wishes bad things on his enemies. And then he says, no, hang on a moment. And almost as if he's called to order, prompted maybe by God. And then he says, oh God, search me and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thought. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. It's almost as if David is saying, hang on, the hatred in my heart that I feel towards others is not going to have the last word. Lord, search my heart. Take out all that should not be there. The hatred, the anger. See if there is any offensive way in me, because, Lord, despite what is going on around me, I want to be led in your everlasting ways. I say that is a small section of Psalm 139 that has helped me deal with my own conflicting emotions, all too human emotions. Search me, O God. Help me to react to what is going on in a way that is appropriate to my Christian faith. Hence my wish, my prayer, my action of lighting candles in this church today. Do you remember the old Quaker saying, it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness? Well, I imagine there's been a lot of cursing of the darkness over the last 48 to 72 hours. But let's, as Christian men and women, rather than curse the darkness, light a few candles. And as an act of defiance against the encircling darkness, as an act of confrontation against the heart of darkness that has been exposed, I want to light 2 further candles. A reminder that Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Let's affirm that as we light this candle. I am the light of the world, says Jesus. He who has this light in them shall not walk in darkness. Lord Jesus, may your light shine in this darkness. And then, secondly, I wish to light this candle in obedience to the word of Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. Let your light so shine before the world, that the world may see your good deeds and give glory to your Father in heaven. Friends, these are dark and testing days. Let us, rather than cursing the darkness, light candles. Shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with your Father's glory. God be with you.